What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to talk about lifting belts, these things. And we're going to go over how to wear one, the pros and cons of wearing one, and when we should be wearing one. So let's get into it. Alright guys, here's how you put a lifting belt on. So get it around you, put it next to your lower back, get your strap, put it through the little latch, make sure it's tight enough against your lower back to support it, secure it, there you go. So guys, before we get started, I want to share why exactly I decided to make this video. So earlier in the week, I was lifting heavy and I'm doing my 5 sets of 5 this week, and so definitely heavier than my moderate weight. And I was doing back rows, and so I'm lifting a barbell from the ground stabilizing myself, my legs and my lower back and my upper back. And as I was doing it, I must have done something wrong with my form, because the next morning I woke up and my lower back really hurt, and it still hurts. So now I'm here to share with you guys how to, or when to use one, and the pros and cons of using one to help you determine better when you should be using it at all, and how to use it to keep yourself safe. So let's get into it. So our pros, it helps your posture. And I would say, guys, that it helps your posture the most on leg lifts. I'd say that is where a lifting belt can be the most helpful. I personally don't find it as helpful on things like bench press or a bicep curl. I'd say definitely use it for your compound leg lifts for sure. Prevents injury. I'm a walking example of that. I'm a walking example of getting the injury, but I know you guys can definitely prevent it if you're using it while you're lifting heavy, compound leg lifts, all that. Mental reassurance. There's definitely all the times that we have when we go to the gym, we're looking at the weight and we're like, man, that's pretty dang heavy. I don't know if I can really do that. But when we have this on, it definitely gives us some mental assurance. Oh, I got a lifting belt, I'm good. And guys, do not get stuck in this actually leads to the con of illusion of security. So guys, it can be very helpful to have mental reassurance, but don't rely totally on a lifting belt to help you lift. It all comes down to your form and how you're going to perform that lift and your motivation behind it. So make sure we don't get caught in that illusion that it's going to save us from anything, because it definitely won't, but it can help us a lot. Alright guys, the next con I have up here is you can become too self-reliant on the lifting belt. That has happened to me before in the past. I see this thing, I'm like, oh man, it helps me so much. I keep using on everything I do, no matter what the weight. Guys, that's not the way to use one, because when we do that, we're going to lack the gains that we need to be able to do certain things with our core and our lower back. And so they do need to progress in some way or another. And this thing can be too much of a crutch that we could use. And so there's a time and place, and that's the whole point of this video. So now I'm going to go into when to use one. So when you're lifting heavy, this is definitely something you want when you're going to do weights that could possibly injure you or have a higher chance of injuring you. I would personally just use this for the week I am doing heavier sets. So when you're doing lower repetitions, you're doing 3 to 5 reps, and you're doing something that's 80% or so around your max. You're pretty close to that. You want to be wearing this so you can prevent injury. As your body gets used to moderate or lightweight or whatever you guys usually do, then your body's going to be adjusted to that. And so when you're doing heavier weights, and your body might not be ready for it, and mine was not ready for it earlier this week. And then the next point of this is when you've gained enough experience. That is probably the best time to be using this, because when you're starting out, whether you're with your buddies, personal trainer, whoever, it's best to not use one. So that way you can know the form, your abs, your core, your lower back, they're all getting the experience they need, and you're developing that muscle memory. And so that way you can start using this when you know what you're doing, you know the form, and this can be a huge assistance when lifting heavy. So I hope, guys, that helps you to really ponder on when you should be using one and if you should be using one. And I know it can be a huge tool when you're lifting heavy. It can prevent injury and keep you safe. And guys, that's what this is all about. Be safe, have fun. I appreciate you watching this video. Please go and support me by subscribing. Comment what you could think I could do better with my videos. I'm always working on learning more, and so I'm ready for it. Hit me with whatever you got. So make sure to like this if you honestly like it, and I hope really this helps. And so I love you guys. Have a good one. We'll see ya.